So today I'm going to show you how to create an effective movie presentation using PowerPoint. This can be used, if you want, to present your final presentation of your story. Now if you notice, I've basically done all the slides, given you some examples, and then given you the instructions. I'll put the PowerPoint itself up there, but I'm going to walk you through the steps in the video. So the first thing to do is to create the PowerPoint, right? Once you're finished with that, you save it as a PowerPoint presentation. Then you go and save it as JPEGs, and the way you do that is you go to File, Save As, and then down here where it says Save As Type, you switch it to JPEG, right here. Once you have that, and you hit save, it'll ask you, do you want to export every slide in the presentation or only the current slide? I want every slide. So it's saving it. Now it's telling you that each slide in your presentation has been saved as a separate file, and it's telling you where it's saving it. So now we go there, because essentially we're done with this. So now we're going over to Movie Maker. If you have iMovie, you can use that the same way. If you do not have Movie Maker, you need to download it. If I Google Windows Movie Maker, so this is an ad. I always skip the ad parts. But Microsoft Windows is responsible for the program Movie Maker. So I click on it, and it's a free download, so I would hit download now, and then follow the steps for the download. When you're done with that, you get the Movie Maker. And it jumped a step. Oh. So you open Movie Maker, and this is what you initially see. You can add videos and photos either here or just by clicking here. Okay? Now, you have to go and find where you had it, you had the PowerPoint saved. Alright? So, since that's the title of my PowerPoint, I click on it, and then here's all the slides. To select all of them so that you don't have to do it one by one, click on the first one. You go over to the last one, but don't click on it yet. Hold down the Shift key, and while you're holding down the Shift key, click on the last slide. Now you've highlighted all the slides. Move the mouse without clicking on anything else over to Open, and click on it. You have now brought all your JPEG images into the Movie Maker. The next thing you have to do is figure out speed. How long is it going to take you to run through this whole thing? You could do that by pressing play and then practicing what you want to say for each slide. If you go from the beginning, so let's bring it back, and I'm reading it. Creating an effective movie presentation through PowerPoint, presenting a final presentation of your story. I've used up all the time allotted, so I don't need to go past it. Go on to the next slide. Creating your slides. Using the final draft of your story, create slides that will allow people to read along with you. Slides, whoop, see, I didn't get finished reading it. So now what I have to do is I have to go back to this. I have to hit Edit under Video Tools, and if you notice it says Duration. This changes the amount of time for each slide. It's defaulted at 7 seconds, but I need more. So if I press this down button, I get all the options, right? Let's say 10 seconds. Creating your slides. Using the final draft of your story, create your slides that will allow people to read along with you. Slides may also include images from your story. Still need more time. And you go back and you do each slide until you have it down to the correct amount. Alright? Now when you have to double the time, it puts two images of the same slide. Don't let that confuse you. Keep going until you've gone through all of the examples. So slide examples. If all I have to do is say two things, I probably only need 4 seconds. And when you get to the end, and you have all your slides with the durations put in, you're good to go. Now that doesn't mean you're finished, okay? Now you can record your narration of your story so that the video plays with your voice reading the story and whoever's watching it reading along with you. But first, let's hit save. Save your project. Save project, you can save it as the title of your story. Creating an effective PowerPoint presentation. Oops. And where did I have it saved originally? Let's see. There. So now I've saved the project. So in case something happens, you don't have to start from scratch. Alright? Now let's record the narration. In order to do that, you go to this button, Record Narration. When you're ready to do it, which means you have this all lined back up at the beginning, and you're ready to go, you simply hit record. Now if you notice, we're being recorded right now. And what will happen is it will take you through all the slides so that you can read along with it and record your voice to your slide presentation. Let's say you're finished. You hit stop when you get to the end. It's asking you to save. Save everything in the same place just to be on the safe side. Alright? So, back to where I started this PowerPoint. When I hit save, notice it's going to insert the narration. Now if you go all the way to the end, this bar underneath here will go all the way to the end of your PowerPoint. Now you're done with your narration. What else can you do? Well, there's a couple things. You can do like an auto movie theme, where this would be like creating a title slide, but I've already created one. So if I don't want this, I could delete it, but then I've deleted the narration. It gets a little tricky. So you could choose to mess around with it beforehand, if you wish, before you do the narration. Or, let's say we don't want to do an auto movie, but we want to have visual effects or animations. We have tabs for that. You can go in here. Let's say you don't want to do straight, jumps from slide to slide. You can do these transitions. So watch what happens. So you're hearing my voice, but if you notice, it did the transition that I put in for it. And every time you highlight that point, it'll play it just briefly so you can see it. And you can go through and put it at each jump at each point where you go from one slide to another slide. Another thing you could do is visual effects if you want to change it. I wouldn't mess with these unless I was trying to go with some actual video work. Because see how it looks in the preview? It's all disjointed. Alright, so if anything, work with the transitions. You can also work with the pan and zooms. It's okay. But if it's going to mess up your narration, leave it alone. Once you have everything figured out, go back to home. Alright? You have your narration, you have your slides, you have your transitions. If you're all set, save the project one more time. Just click save. Now you're going to publish your movie. To do that, you can go over here to where it says Save Movie, but you click this arrow. And when you click it, you get all these lovely options. Basically, they've tried to give you every possible way a movie might need to be saved so that it can be watched. I typically do one of these two, for computer, for email, or even for YouTube. If you want to be able to save it to your external hard drive, go for computer. If you're trying to send it to me, save it for email. If you have a YouTube account, you can actually upload the video to YouTube and then just send me the YouTube link. But that's only if you have a YouTube account, and I'm not telling anybody to go get one without parental permission. But if you scroll down, look, it even gives you phone and device settings, gives you tablet settings, and yes, it does give you website settings. MySpace, Flickr, Facebook, Vimeo, OneDrive is associated with Microsoft Office, and then of course YouTube. So I want to save it for my computer. It's already changed the file type. Leave that alone. Just simply hit save if you like your title. If not, go in and change it. Right? Once you like your title, hit save. Now it's saving the movie, but it's publishing it at the same time. This step might take a while, as you can see, because what it's doing is it's finalizing everything. When it's done, it will tell you, and then you can use that movie however you want. However, the finished product cannot be edited again. Let's say you notice a mistake. If you want to go back, you have to go, oops, because I haven't let it saved it. If you want to go back, you have to go back to when you saved it as a project, not as the final publication. Alright? And now you can play it, or you can at least open the folder where you've saved it. There it is. Everything's all good. It's saved to my videos. I'm done. When you're done, you can X out and you can use your video however you see fit. Alright? Have a good one.